Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Okay, sir. Join అవుతా ఉన్నారు సార్ స్టూడెంట్స్. ఇంకొకసారి వాళ్ళని ఫాలో అప్ చేస్తాను.
జయలక్ష్మి మేడం co-host.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే. ప్రొఫైల్ రీడింగ్ కూడా మేడంకి ఇస్తున్నా సార్.
Sure. Good morning, Vaishnav sir.
Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. Nice connecting with you. We have another 10 minutes, sir.
Okay. I just logged in for checking the connection and all that. So
Sure.
yeah. We will start at 4.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Good morning, Professor.
Nice connecting with you. We have another.
Students, please log in with your roll numbers, ma. Vamsi, log in with your roll numbers, register number, ma. Students, please log in with your roll numbers. Dear students, please change your names as roll numbers, please. Full register number. Change your names as roll number.
ఎక్కడ నాకు చూపించట్లేదు అసలు ఏంటి
Good evening, Vaishnav sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Are we good to go? We have around 100 students in the Zoom, and also some people are watching it live on
Okay.
in the classroom.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have streamed it in the classroom session.
Okay.
So to briefly tell about this session, we're very much happy and we're delighted by the presence of Vaishnav sir. He has a top class profile, and you see this Goldman Sachs executive director. So such a top person addressing the young students and people who are enthusiastic about investment banking, financial markets, capital markets, equity research, and how to make sense of this complex world of finance. And he has, I'm really delighted to see his, reviews in LinkedIn. He's a big influencer, social media influencer of in the financial markets field. And he has addressed top class institutions like Gokale, ISB, and many institutions. And the way the enthusiasm with which he connects with the young graduates, MBA finance students, and people who are interested in the careers of investment banking and financial markets. I'm really amazed, sir. I'm very much thankful for coming to our address our students. Though we are in a semi-urban sort of setting, we are really blessed to have you with us today. And I request for Vani Madam to say a few words and introduce our guest, Vaishnav sir. Madam? Or Jayalakshmi Madam is there?
Sir, I am here, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Can you ask Vani Madam to say a few words, then we will.
Oh, sure, sir.
Vaishnavi sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm very happy to see you, sir, here because your valuable information that is very helpful to our students. At the same time, your profile is very rich. I'm heartily welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very thankful for such a warm welcome. And I'm actually very excited to connect with all the students also. Before I proceed to say anything, I would just like to give a disclaimer. The disclaimer is that whatever I speak over here, they are my own personal views and opinions. They cannot be attributed to any of my employers, whether current employer or any of my past employers. So this is just to clear any kind of doubts. Also, I won't be able to discuss about any particular stock or any particular industry trade ideas or anything, because I'm bound by my profession not to discuss that. Over here, I'll be discussing about what kind of career opportunities you can find, and how can you develop your own skill set and your own profile to fit such kind of roles. Okay, having said that, let us digress a bit right at the start, and I would actually like this to be a two-way interaction rather than just me looking at a screen on Zoom and just keeping on talking. I want it to be interesting for both of us. Okay. Okay, how many history buffs in the room? Who all like history over here? I have a simple question. We have all studied in our school. We have all studied history. You can always in the Zoom chat, you can always type in your answers. Or if you want to speak, I'll be more than happy to let you speak also. Let this be a two-way communication. Okay. When was the first battle of Panipat fought? We have all learned about this in school. Anyone? You can even Google and type in the answers. Anyone? Okay, I guess not many history buffs over here. It was fought on the 21st of April, 1526. And between which two parties was this battle fought? It was fought between. Yes, I have some answers over here. Yes, 21 April 1526. Yes, between which two parties was this battle fought? Any idea? Again, you can Google and you can write it.
Yes, sir. Babur and Ibrahim Lodi.
Perfect. Babur and Ibrahim Lodi. Do you know the significance of this battle? Ibrahim Lodi was in charge of the Delhi Sultanate, and he was one of the most powerful kings of his time, right? By all accounts, he had an army of around between 50 and 60,000, soldiers. He had various weapons, and he also had elephants, more than 150 elephants in his army, right? By that comparison, if you look at the profile of Babar was born as, one of the 12 or 14, 15 siblings of his, he had 13, 14 brothers. And there was a lot of infighting in the place where he was born, that is Fargana Valley, which is in present day Uzbekistan. Okay. Now, on one side, he had infighting within his own family. On the other side, he had, the powerful King Ismail I, who was ruler of Persia at that point in time. He was also a very powerful king, just like Ibrahim Lodi. So, after capturing Kabul, he realized that if he wanted to establish his own presence in the subcontinent, he had to capture the Delhi Sultanate. Now, that is where the problem lies, because he had an army, by all the best accounts, he had an army of between 12 and 16,000 soldiers, 2 or 6,000 soldiers. Whereas Ibrahim Lodi was like almost 50 to 60,000 soldiers with elephants and everything, right? Now, how would he be able to pick up a fight with such a powerful, Ibrahim Lodi? So, when he actually came down to Panipat, he surveyed the area, and immediately what he did was he used a Turkish technique called Tulughma. Okay, Tulughma, Tulughma. What he divided was did was he divided his army into three flanks. One was in the center, one was on the left side, and one was on the right side. So you must have seen the movie Bahubali, where they have that V kind of formation, right? It was this inverted V kind of formation. What he did was, as Ibrahim Lodi's army marched towards him, he mounted attacks from both the left and the right side. And in the center, he kept his artillery ready. Now, before that, artillery had never been used in any kind of war in the Indian subcontinent. So, what he did was he had limited artillery, but he kept it right and tight at the center. And so, the moment Ibrahim Lodi's army started charging at him, he started firing through artillery. Now, because of artillery, all the 100, 150 elephants that were there, they just went completely berserk. They had never heard any frightening sound like this. Even the soldiers were disoriented. Many of the elephants, they killed their own soldiers. And basically, an army of 60,000 people was in complete disarray. And, the left and the right flank, they attacked it. And over a few days, the war persisted. And then finally, we all know Babur won the throne of Delhi, and then he later established the Mughal dynasty. Correct? Now, why I'm telling you this story, you must be wondering. Like, he had come to talk about finance and investment banking. Why is he talking about history? The reason is that until and unless you actually make an approach, or at least you try, you are not going to achieve anything. Many a times, what I find is students are always having self doubts. At times, they are having ignorance. At times, they don't have any confidence in their own abilities. They don't know what lies within them. They just feel that they are not from any great college. They may not get a great job. These are all the very pessimistic thinking that I've seen a lot of students have. And the reason I'm telling you this story is that just like Babur fought with whatever he had, in the same way, each one of you has the ability to fight with what you have. Just like Babur used artillery, in the same way, you can develop certain skill sets and you can actually use that as an arsenal to further your career. Okay. Now, having set the tone for this, let us talk about what is investment banking. Okay. Just give me a quick idea. What is your understanding of what is investment banking? I just want general answers. I don't want to get into, very specifics. Tell me, you can raise your hand. You can just come on the screen and say, absolutely fine. What do you mean by investment banking? Any answers?
Investing money, sir.
Investing money. Okay, fine. Then what more? What more?
Sir, unlike an expense, you expect returns from it.
Okay, fair enough. Then portfolio adjustment. Okay, investing through banking. Okay, then Then I can see 3 more answers. Okay, fine. So in
Helping
the
companies, sir.
yeah, sure.
Helping companies raise finances.
Perfect. That is the simplest definition. Capital raising. Raising money for the companies, right? Be it in equities, be it raising through debt, right? You help companies raise money and deploy that money. Correct? Now, what happens is investment banking, this is a large, broad definition. But within investment bank, there are many different kinds of businesses. Okay. So the classic investment banking business is about capital raising, but most of the investment banks, they also have their brokerage business. In brokerage business, what they do is they buy and sell either equities or currencies or bonds or commodities on behalf of their clients. Now, who are these clients? Are they retail clients like you and me? Who do you think are these clients? Any answers? Companies. Okay. What kind of companies? Startup? No, not startup. Not startup. But I'm liking the participation. Come on, yes.
The MNCs.
MNCs. Okay. What kind of MNCs? There is a very specific term given to these.
Institutional investors, sir. FIIs.
That's right. Spot on. Institutional investors. Now, institutional investors can be of two types. One is domiciled in India. They are the domestic institutional investors, and one which are set up abroad, but they are getting a license to trade or to invest in India, right? They are called the foreign institutional investors. Now, domestic institutional investors could be something like mutual funds, where you must have seen your parents and all investing money in mutual funds, right? You must have seen so many advertisements saying mutual funds sahi hai, mutual funds sahi hai. So mutual funds are pooled investment vehicles, and they collect money from small investors like you and me. And what they do is they invest this big sum of money that they collect from people. They have to deploy it profitably. They have to invest it in various trading opportunities, right? So the brokerage business of an investment bank, typically it services the institutional investors, be it domestic or be it foreign institutional investors. Okay. Now what happens is, this is where a lot of work profiles come into play. Now let us talk about equity markets. In equity markets, okay, before talking about equity markets, we also need to see what is buy side and what is sell side. Okay. We just talked about investors and the brokers, right? What is a buy side as per you? The answer is in either one of these that we have discussed. What do you think is a buy side and what is a sell side? Any answers? See, don't hold yourself back. Please feel free. I mean, even if it is wrong, there is no prize or there is no punishment, right? So feel free to throw your thoughts aloud. What is the buy side? I'm saying I'm trying to gauge this because I'll be using these terms frequently. So it should not be that you don't understand this and I talk for an hour about it and then you don't understand anything. I see one answer on the screen. Buying shares of the company. That is where the answer lies. Buying shares of the company, right? Who buys the shares of the companies? The institutional investors, right? The institutional investors buy, right? Hello? Am I audible?
Buy side means a positive direction, sir.
No, so buy side means the side which has the institutional investors which has collected money, and he is the one who takes a decision about buying or selling shares. That is called the buy side. Okay. And the brokerage side of the investment bank, which typically gives all kinds of services to the institutional investors so that they can make a decision to invest their money. That is called as the sell side. Okay. So is this difference clear? Say yes, say no.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. So now we are talking about the different profiles. Okay. Now, on the sell side, means on the brokerage side, there are 4 or 5 distinct profiles. Uh, if you want to make, scribbling, if you want to make notes, you can make notes. Or if you want to ask, if you have any questions, once I complete about a particular profile, you can always raise your hand and you can always, ask a question. Okay. So the first profile that we are going to discuss is an equity research analyst. Now, I'm sure you must have heard the words equity research analyst, right? Almost 70% of people who approach me on LinkedIn, they want to become research analysts. Okay. Now, what does a research analyst do? Typically, what the research analyst does is he researches a group of listed companies in any given sector, a particular sector. Say, for example, if there is a analyst who is covering cement sector, right? So he will research all the companies within the cement sector, or maybe if he's a auto sector analyst, then he'll research all the companies in the auto sector, right? Then what he'll do is he will develop a deep understanding about how the industry or the sector works, right? He will also do financial statement analysis of all the companies that he covers. He develops such kind of expertise in those companies and in those sectors that he covers, that he can readily assess the impact of any news, any development, any regulatory change, any actions by the competitor, right, on the key performance metrics of any company that he covers. So something, say, like revenues or EBIT or EBITDA or any kind of valuation multiples, right? He will be able to assess it very quickly. What he does is, how does he get all this information? He keeps in touch with the top management of the company. He keeps in touch with the company's suppliers, with the company's distributors, with the company's major clients, with all the channel partners and all the distribution side. He takes inputs from all these places, and then what he does is, on the basis of this inputs, he develops a valuation model, right? He develops a valuation model. You must have studied discounted cash flow techniques, right? So he uses this, and uh, you know this is what he uses all these inputs into his valuation model, and then he comes to a share price of a company. And then based on that, what he does is he gives a call whether a certain stock is to be bought or to be sold, or to be, if it is there in your portfolio, then just to be held, or to be added, or to be reduced. That kind of stuff he comes out with. uh, what an analyst also does is, there are many non-deal roadshows that take place, right? So where he gets potential investors to meet with the top management of the company, right? So there are many such non-deal roadshows are there. Then every quarter the companies, they come out with their earnings. So then he updates his model with the latest earnings number also, right? If there is any event which has happened, then he will update his valuation model for factoring in that the impact of that event also, right? So this is what a typical analyst does. If you look at it, I mean, most commonly, I have found MBAs to be research a research analyst. I have found a lot of MBAs being a research analyst. I have also found a few chartered accountants who are research analysts. CFA charter holders are also research analysts. CAIA charter holders are also research analysts. So these are the most common qualifications for a research analyst, right? Uh, in terms of career path, what they do is, they generally, if they are good in their work, they go on to bigger, coverage. Like, say, for example, in an investment bank, there would not just be business in India, there would be business in Asia, or in the other geographies also, right? So maybe if the analyst is extremely good, then he may start covering the overall, Asia region stocks, right? or then if he becomes very senior and if his work is really appreciated, he can go on to becoming a head of research, or I've also seen many equity research analysts becoming fund managers themselves, or also becoming an equity salesperson, right? So these are the different career paths that research analysts can actually take as they go forward. Okay. Now I'll stop here and take questions if you have any regarding a research analyst. And I hope I've given you a decent understanding of it. Any questions? Okay, I see 4 messages on the chat. Okay, fine. It's just people saying yes. Any questions? Okay. It means I have made you understand the profile of a equity research analyst rather well. Fair enough. Let's move on to institutional equity sales. Okay. Now, what happens is an analyst will do research on a company and he'll come out with a update. But just imagine who uses this research. Any idea? Come on, I want some answers.
People who
Some
want to
answers.
buy
Don't hold
shares.
yourself back. Please participate. 1 minute. I have a question. Why would a CA become a research analyst? Wouldn't he be earning more as a CA? No. A research analyst earns significantly more than if a person is just doing a chartered accountant practice. In fact, a lot of CAs become research analysts. So why wouldn't they? But I'm actually seeing a lot of CAs becoming research analysts. I just hope I have answered the question. See, what happens is in a research analyst does require to understand the accounting part a lot, right? So the financial valuation models, they are based on the accounting books, right? So every year's balance sheet, profit and loss statement, cash flows, these are these have to be understood by the research analyst, and then these have to be forecasted for the next 4-5 years. So if you have a strong accounting background, it will always be extremely useful. Okay. I also see a question by Professor Dhananjay asking skills needed for equity research analyst. Yes. So skills needed for equity research analyst is the most important thing is being able to understand the business model of a company, being able
దాని
to
తర్వాత అన్మ్యూట్ లో
factoring.
పెట్టి అదే మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టి ఆన్ అయిన తర్వాత
ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళ మాట వినబడుతుంది ఫయాజ్.
నీ మాటలు కూడా వినపడతాయి కొన్నిసార్లు నువ్వు మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టకపోతే.
ఆ మ్యూట్ లోనే ఉంది ఫోన్ ఇప్పుడు.
మ్యూట్ లోనే ఉంది. అలాగే
ఓన్లీ మ్యూట్ అని పడిపోయింది అంటే మ్యూట్ లో ఉన్నట్టే కదా.
దాని మీద సింబల్ మీద రెడ్ కలర్ ఉందా?
లేదు.
అది ఉండేటట్టు చూడు.
సరే.
May I speak? Okay. I did not understand what was said, but I'm sure someone was talking about how to turn on or turn off the mute or something. Fair enough. So yes, you will also need financial modeling skills in Excel, and you will need a sector expertise and a company expertise to be able to understand what are the revenue drivers, what are the cost drivers, how the margins are behaving, what measures is the company taking for improving the margins or improving the share price performance, what business alliances it is coming out with, what the competitors are doing. These all things. So it's both a mix of qualitative and quantitative skills which are required. More than that, what is also important is you should be able to convey your ideas effectively. So report writing is also a very key skill of an equity research analyst. If he's able to analyze well, but if he's not able to express it well, then what's the point, right? So report writing skills also are extremely important for a research analyst. I hope Professor Dhananjay, I have answered your question. Okay. Now, Fair enough. Now, what happens is uh, advice on how to read annual report. You don't really need to read annual report because what happens is you will be able to get the typically what you should read is the management's discussion and analysis section in an annual report. So one is having the actual profit and loss balance sheet and cash flow numbers with you, which and these are the numbers which will be available for you for say the past 5 or 7 years or 10 years, whatever, right? What you need to read is consistently management's discussion and analysis or management's commentary on how they are viewing the performance of the company. Okay, if you are able to view that and make sense of what the management is guiding towards or what the management is hinting towards, then just a moment. I think Jayalakshmi ma'am is telling me, Manan sir. Yes. Yes, Jayalakshmi ma'am.
Sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you describe importance of business analytics trending today market, sir?
1 minute, 1 minute. Business analytics. Where
Yes,
did this
sir.
come from? I thought we were talking about the equity markets.
Okay,
We can
sir.
do a separate session for it. We can do a separate session for it because it's a
Sure,
very
sir.
vast subject.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
I'll be more than happy to do that in case everyone is interested. And I just hope I'm not boring people with the talk over here right now. Okay.
Yes.
So fine. I mean, so based on management's discussion and analysis, you should be able to make reasonable assumptions, which you can then use for forecasting the numbers for the next 5-6 years, which you will then kind of discount, and then you will come down to a share price. Okay. So that is how you should be reading an annual report. Okay. I hope I have answered your question, Dhananjay sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, a research analyst will publish a report. Okay. Who uses that report? Remember we discussed about the buy side and the sell side. So that report is used by the buy side, okay, or the people who actually make the investing decisions. Now, who on the buy side will actually use this report? Any idea? Come on, give me answers. Investors, buy side. How will investors use long-term investors? Okay, but who are these investors?
Public, sir. B.
Public, right? But the public is investing through a mutual fund, right? So over here, the investor will be mutual fund. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, see, a mutual fund will collect money from people like you, me, from people all across India. It will then be sitting on like crores and crores of rupees of cash, right? So there will be a person who will be appointed to make buying and selling decisions, and he is called as a fund manager or a portfolio manager. Understood? Now, this portfolio manager or this fund manager will actually make the decisions, and he is the one who actually uses the equity research reports are targeted towards him, right? But this is where there is also a problem. The problem is that every brokerage house will have 8 or 10 research analysts covering different sectors, and each one of them will be covering 10-15 companies. Each one of these companies will be coming out with their results every quarter, or there might be some or the other kind of development in these companies. Either they'll enter into some joint venture or something, or they'll be delisted or whatever, right? So whenever any event happens, at that time, the research analyst has to update his valuation model, and he has to publish a research report on this or a research note on this. So imagine the problem on the fund manager side. Anything happens, he will have like hundreds of research reports hitting his inbox. Okay. Yes, Professor Dhananjay, we'll talk about the NSM certifications at the end. So, these research reports will keep hitting they'll keep hitting the portfolio manager's inbox every now and then. So every morning he comes to the office, he'll see like at least 500, 600 emails in his inbox. Now, how will he read all these equity research reports that are made? There's no point, right? No one can humanly do that. Will he read those reports, or will he actually sit down and make the buying and selling decisions? Correct. So, in order to make him understand what exactly is going on in a particular company, or what has been covered in a particular research report, there are specialists who are as good as equity analysts in understanding a company or a sector, right? But they are not limited to one particular sector, and they are client facing. So whatever research comes out, their target is to make succinct, small, crisp commentaries on these reports and then pitch it to the fund manager. Generally, the fund managers don't have much time. They have an attention span of say 3 to 4 minutes. It is up to these institutional equity sales people to talk to the fund managers, get their attention, and give them an understanding about what the research analyst is actually meaning to convey through the report. And if the fund manager finds this report interesting, then he will ask for deep dive into the report, and he'll ask for a time with the research analyst and where he can talk about it. Hello. Okay. So typically, if you are making notes and if you want to note it down, explaining of research and buying selling recommendations is done by the equity sales people. Giving relevant market information on news and its impact on the company, that is also done by the institutional equity sales people. Giving any kind of trade ideas, that is also done by equity sales people. Giving access to the analyst, or many times big blocks of shares are traded in the market, that is also done by the institutional equity sales people. And in general, managing close relations with the buy side or with the investing side, right? That is done by the equity sales people. Now, equity salespeople are as well versed with the valuations and sector and stock developments as equity research analysts, but they are mainly client facing and business development kind of responsibilities that they have. Their responsibility is not just to publish research report like a equity analyst, right? Basically, they are driving the sales and the revenues of the company. Again, I have seen a lot of MBAs get into institutional equity sales. And the same way, a lot of equity research analysts who could be either say CA or a CFA or a CAIA charter holder, they also once they have worked for a few number of years and they are they don't want to do research, they also move on to institutional equity sales, right? So this is how the career path is for them. Now I'll stop here and take questions about institutional equity sales. Are the institutional and the retail reports the same? No. See, the thing is institutional and retail. So retail investors are not as sophisticated as institutional investors. Like today, you are investing, right? If someone gives you a report on any company, will you read it to the last letter and then you will start making investing decisions? I don't think so. Most of us don't do it that way. Either we just invest in mutual funds, or what we do is we just based on some friend saying something or someone giving some tip, that is how we invest, right? So doing so much effort for a retail investor is not really beneficial. It is done for an institutional investor. And even there are many retail investor facing brokerage houses, but the reports and all are not as in depth or as analytical as they are for the institutional side. So yes, that is how it is.
Yeah. Sir, I require your opinion, sir.
Okay.
This in this full service brokerage, what do you mean by full service brokerage and discount brokerage like Zerodha?
Okay. So if you look at full service brokerage, A full service brokerage will give you research, it will give you stock recommendations, it will give you a trading platform, right? It will I mean, these are the three big services that make up as a full service brokerage, right? It will keep, it will, as if you are a retail investor and if you pay a decent amount of money to a retail brokerage, and if it is a full service brokerage, you will keep getting stock recommendations in your inbox, you will get strategy recommendations in your inbox based on which you can invest. Then you will also get what we call as the research reports, any kind of update on the stock or so. That is the kind of service that the brokerage will provide to you. But if you go to a discount brokerage, you will not get any of this. You will just get the platform where you can trade. So if you look at Zerodha, right? I mean, what it does is it gives you, it will help you open a demat account. It will help you open a trading account. It will link them both, and then basically you are on your own. They have something called as the Zerodha University, where they do give basic knowledge about how to invest and different kinds of strategies that can be used. But that's it. They will not give you any kind of stock recommendations, or they will not give you any kind of investment advice, right? So that is why it charges significantly lower compared to any of the full service brokerage, right? So if you open a non-Zerodha account, like with any of the bank's brokerages, like, right, then you will see the kind of fees that you will pay as brokerage. Whereas in Zerodha, the kind of fees that you pay as a brokerage will be very different, right? Because they are just providing you the basic service which is absolutely necessary for any kind of. It's like a low cost airline, right?
Yes.
You have the difference between a full service airline and a low cost airline. Similarly, you have a discount brokerage and you have a full service brokerage. So I hope it is clear.
Yes, pardon me, sir. I think I will no, will go through your description of various roles. Then we will go to Q&A, sir. Because,
okay.
And before going that, one small question asked by our student, sir.
Okay.
She's asking about fund manager and portfolio manager. Whether if I want to become a fund manager, do you advise me to start as an equity research analyst and then progress to fund manager?
Yeah, I mean, see, fund manager you can become in various ways. So both the profiles that I discussed, so equity salesperson as well as equity research analyst, they both have seen in real life. I've seen both of them becoming fund managers. So there is no one particular path to becoming a fund manager. I've also seen traders, right, on the buy side, they also graduate to becoming a fund manager. So there are multiple paths to become a fund manager. There is no one particular path. Like it's not like in the army that if you want to become colonel, then first you'll have to be a lieutenant, then captain, then major, and then lieutenant colonel, and then you can become a colonel. It's not like that. Okay.
Yes. So
fine.
With your permission, I request you to continue the roles. Then we will go for Q&A, sir.
Okay. Sure. So the next role that we are coming to is equity sales trader. Now, this is a role which is very close to my heart because this is what I also do for a living. Okay, and this is what I have done since many years across my employers. Right. It is one of the most romanticized profiles in on the brokerage side in an investment bank. A lot of young people are drawn to the portrayal of a sales trader in many Hollywood movies like say Wolf of the Wall Street and Boiler Room, right? These kinds of movies, if you have not watched it, by the way, you should watch it. They are good movies. They'll give you an idea about what kind of role it is, but don't take it very seriously because it is ultimately it's a movie. But if I were to crystallize, forget all the movie and the story around it, but if I am to crystallize what a sales trader does, sales trader is the eyes and ears of the buy side traders or the portfolio managers on the ground, right? They are the ones who have information in the quickest way. So any kind of event happens, immediately first the sales trader comes to know, right? So updating clients with the latest information, updating clients with the trading flows, right? So what you are buying, what you are selling, what in a particular stock, what is the price and the volume action, right? What kind of block trades opportunities are available, then actually getting the trades which are given to them, getting them executed, or themselves executing the trades, right? Giving the buy side, the portfolio managers, some short-term trade ideas, right? Arranging for any analyst meets and calls if required, right? All these kinds of stuff is done by the sales trader, and he's like a vital component. So the equity salesperson and the sales trader, these two both are like relationship managers of a brokerage house, and they kind of service the buy side together, right? Now, in order that a sales trader is able to talk intelligently and service the buy side, he has to read a lot, and he has to make sense of huge amounts of data, also research, reports, and news also, right? So if you look at my daily schedule, I typically wake at around 5 o'clock, and immediately the moment I wake up, I start reading on what has happened overnight in the US and the European markets, right? Then I prepare some notes, I scribble some notes, and then immediately I get ready for the office. By 6:45 a.m. in the morning, right? I am ready to go. I leave for office, and I am in the office by 7:20, 7:30. That is when typically across all the brokerages that I have worked, uh, you will the morning meeting starts, where analysts and equity sales people and the other sales traders and all, they come out with whatever they have heard, or they've made sense of in the market. Once that happens, you start immediately. Once the meeting is over, you take all the inputs and you start making your morning notes, which you will circulate to your clients. It will have information from the previous day, from what has happened across different markets. So not just equities markets, but say bond markets, or commodity markets, or the debt markets. Uh, all such kinds, and what it means for what is the read through for the equities today, when once the market opens. That kind of commentaries are there, and then you send the notes to the clients, and then you start giving them calls. You talk to them, and you understand what is how they are perceiving the information. Based on that, you discuss about what trade opportunities could arise, and then once it is 9:15, then the trading actually starts, and then all through the day you keep talking to the clients, getting more business, and then your day ends once the market ends, right? So this is what a typical sales trader does, and I've been doing it since so many years now. I would not do anything else. I absolutely love this kind of a profile, and there's nothing else that I would want to do at this juncture in my life, right? So this is what a sales trader typically does. Uh, I will stop here and take questions related to sales trader profile only. All other kinds of questions we can take up, like Professor Dhananjay said, we can take it up later on. Any questions? I see one
Question,
message.
sir. I repeat from the chat box, sir. One question is, do the valuations of a company depend on its equity research report?
It's no. So the task of an equity research report is to determine what the valuation of the company actually should be, as per whatever understanding the analyst has of the company. It is very subjective in nature, right? It is not the final word or final authority on valuations. It is what an analyst perceives and what his perception is regarding the valuations. So they can be subjective, and it does not depend on the equity research report. Generally, the investors in the markets, they are the ones who decide what the valuation should be, right? So in the equity markets, there is Gujarati community, Marwadi community. These people are they participate very actively. I'm myself a Gujarati, right? And there is this saying in the markets, "Bhav Bhagwan che." Bhav means the price. Bhagwan means God. Price is God, right? So whatever the investors decide forget the equity research analyst. Equity research analyst publishes a report based on his own understanding. But ultimately, what price the investor is willing to pay or take for for a particular stock, that is what is the price which is determined by God. Okay, so it's equity research report does not have a major impact on the valuations. I mean, different cases I have seen where analysts are highly respected, and whatever they say can have an impact on the valuation of the company. That has also been seen, right? But that is because the investors also agree with the research analyst. That is why the price moves accordingly. But many a times a research analyst publish something and the investors do not agree to it, and so despite them publishing a very negative report on a company, still the stock price goes up. So it is all in the hands of investors. Okay, I hope I have answered the question.
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
Okay, fair enough. Any questions related to sales trading profiles? Again, crypto blockchain, it is not my expertise. I am not really the right person to talk about cryptos. I have a very limited understanding, which I will not be able to share over here. Okay, fine. We'll move to the final profile in the front office, and that is execution traders. So just like I talked about sales traders, right? They are the client-facing traders, or they are the ones which face the traders or the fund managers on the buy side, right? Now there is also something called as execution traders. Now, I mean, I have a 14-year-old son, and he keeps playing. A lot of video games, this Fortnite, and all such kinds of video games. Are you guys also into video games? Yes, no, or what? Are you guys also into video games? Someone must be playing video games, right? So the thing is, if you are playing video games, then this is a profile which you will actually like a lot. Execution traders, their primary responsibility is executing or punching in the trades that a client gives them, right? So a client will give a trade and he will give standard set of instructions to the sales trader, okay? And then the sales trader would typically pass on the set of instructions to the execution trader, and then it is the duty of the execution trader to trade it in accordance with the client's instructions, right? So his primary responsibility is understanding the client instructions, accurately executing the trades, right? Once the trades are executed, you start getting fills, like you start getting prints, then updating them, and keeping a close watch on how the price is moving. If because of selling some stock aggressively, the stock price is starting to go down, then it's a bad execution, right? So with minimal impact, how can the trade be executed? Then if there is any many a times the client may have some illiquid stock and he may not know how to get it executed. So then actually providing the client with an update on how to choose the best execution methodology. Many times execution traders also analyze the end of day market data, and they give insight into what kind of clients are involved in trading a particular set of stocks. This all kind of things is what the execution traders are typically supposed to do, right? Execution trader, the job can actually become extremely stressful because the trades keep coming continuously, right? As the live market goes, the trades can keep coming continuously. The markets may suddenly move up or suddenly move down, and there may be at any given point in time there could be like 300 to 400 trades that trader might be having to take care of at any given point in time, right? So yes, it can become very stressful. But then I have seen there are people who love doing this kind of a job. They are extremely excited about this kind of a job, and it gives them an adrenaline rush kind of a thing, right? So generally graduates or postgraduates with a flair for numbers, an eye for details, and an ability to handle extreme stress, they can become successful execution traders. They once an execution trader gets a certain amount of expertise and understanding of the market. I've seen many execution traders also move on to becoming, sales trader, or move on to the buy side and become a buy side trader, right? So yeah, this is what the execution traders do. So broadly, whatever front office profiles are there, this is what I've discussed: equity research analyst, equity institutional equity sales, sales trader, execution trader. These are the big institutional equity profiles which are available. Now I'm more than happy to take any kind of questions that you may have. With your permission, Professor Dhananjay.
Please, sir. Please, sir. Or
Okay.
please, sir.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, what are the questions? Tell me.
I have a question like, how the execution trader takes care of a big order. Suppose a big order is given to him by institution, and it's a volatile day. It's a highly volatile day. How he decides?
Okay. Very good question. Because say, for example, see, in the institutional side, what happens is what differentiates an institutional side from a retail side is the size of the positions or the size of the trades that are executed, right? So while a retailer would buy say 100 or 200 shares of something, right? On the other side, an institution would buy say 5 million or say 10 million shares of a certain stock, right? So what happens is these huge size trades, if you start loading the stocks in the market, then it can have a big price impact. So that is what probably Professor Dhananjay is asking, that how will these be executed, right? So generally, if you look at the data on BSE and NSE, there is something called as blocks. Now, blocks is what? Say, for example, if some of the investors they come to me saying that I want to buy say 10 million shares of a certain 10 million shares, right, of a certain company. What I'll try to do is, as a sales trader, I will try to, because I'll have multiple clients, right? So I'll try to find with my clients. I'll also let my colleagues know if any of their clients are interested in taking the opposite side. Like if they are interested to sell, then what we can do is we can do a block trade. So say for example, four people on the four different clients wants to sell the stock and one client wants to buy the stock, right? So then what will be done is all the orders from those four sides who want to sell and the order from the buy side, they'll be punched into the market at the count of three. So there'll be different traders and they will be trading for different clients. And then there will be one sales trader who will be basically controlling the whole crossing of the block. And he'll say, "Chalo, at the count of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3," and then they'll all enter the their respective quantities and the price. At the same time, on the count of three, they will hit the trade on the exchange. On the exchange, what the exchange does is it matches the trade. So if there is a buy quantity and if there is a sell quantity at the same price, what the exchange will do is it will cross this, right? Means the buyer gets the shares and the seller will be able to offload the share, right? So this is how a block is crossed. And since it is done at only one particular price point, it will not create any big impact. Okay, so that is how big orders are traded. There is also a separate block window. Okay, if on the BSE and the NSE, and there are separate timings for it also. So if the trade is bigger than a certain size, then it can be traded on the block windows also. Okay.
Yeah. Is there any difference between block trade and bulk trade, sir? There's some.
Mostly it is dependent on the size.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more small doubt I have, sir. Is this when we are slicing these big orders, do you think that this front office traders may get replaced by algorithms where they may fix some benchmarks and
Very good question.
fire the
Yeah. So it's a very good question. A lot of people have this doubt. So algorithms they began to be used in India sometime around 2008. Okay, sometime around 2008 is when people started using algorithms. Now, even now, you will still see that there are sales traders and execution traders available across the industry. So what happens is when you start using algorithms, you are in the hope that you will not need to cross blocks. But India is a very blocks driven market, right? So when you have to cross blocks, how will you know sitting in one corner what exactly is happening, right? If there is a buyer in a particular stock or a seller in a particular stock, how will you know? That only someone who has access to different clients and different flows from different clients, he will be able to do that market making, right? So because of that, India still you will find a lot of sales traders and execution traders are still thriving.
Excellent, sir.
So
Excellent.
yeah,
That gives the real understanding of the market. How you are the in that heat of that market. And one more
Yes.
small doubt, sir. As a institution, do you give any targets for the traders, like no distance from VWAP, something like that? You benchmark their execution.
So it depends on different clients have different instructions and different clients have different ways in which they will judge you, right? But ideally, distance from VWAP is a standard industry-wide criteria. You should
Yes.
not be too far away from VWAP for that particular time. Many times, see, again, VWAP for that particular time, because what happens is the day's VWAP will be significantly different than 1 hour's VWAP or 10 minutes VWAP, right? So if your order runs for 10 minutes, then you should be benchmarked against the VWAP of that 10 minutes, not the VWAP of the day, right?
Okay.
So generally, yeah, I mean, VWAP is used as a benchmark.
That's great. I am done with my because I think some of the students.
Yes.
There is one question. Does the institutions trade on the basis of past data?
See, algorithms are of different types, okay? And different algorithms are meant for trading in different styles. Generally, what happens is if you talk about, say, a VWAP algorithm, okay? A VWAP algo will typically use past data because it requires a volume profile of a particular stock, right? Over the past 30 days or say 40 days or past 6 months or past 1 year, how has a particular stock traded in the last 30 minutes or maybe last 1 hour or last 2 hours, right? That data will go into the VWAP algorithm, and based on that, it will keep doing the trades throughout the day, right? So a VWAP algorithm, it may use a past volume profile, and that's why yes, it can be based on past data. But say for example, if it is a TWAP, so time weighted average price, right? VWAP is volume weighted average price. TWAP is time weighted average price. Now TWAP, it has got nothing to do with past data. It's a simple slicer. It will, for every uniform distance of time, right? So every say for example, if it is 100 shares to be traded during the day, I'm just giving an example. The trading is typically going from 9:15 to 3:30, so roughly 6 hours 15 minutes, right? Based on that, what it will do is, if it has to trade it throughout the day, then there are like 6 are 36 plus 15, so 375 minutes are there, and 100 trades and 100 shares are being done. So every 37.5 minutes, one share should be traded, right? So that is what a TWAP will do. It will not look into the past data. It will not look into the volume profile, nothing. It will just release a slice of, one share every 37.5 minutes, right? So not every algorithm will use past data. In the same way, if it is a percentage of volume algorithm, right? it will just see how many shares or lots have been traded. And what if you are supposed to be 30% of volumes, are you actually 30? So like if 100 shares or lots have been traded, have you traded 30 lots or not? Right? So it will not look at past data, it will look at current data. So different algorithms will look at different data sets. I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, sir. Exactly, sir.
Hmm.
I think before we move on to some next set of questions, I request all the participants to start their video so that we will have a
Yeah, I
screen
mean,
shot.
if it is possible, because if you know, if there is a face to the name, it is always better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
Yeah.
Jayalakshmi madam, can you request all the participants to start their video
Sure, sir.
so that we can have a screenshot and
Okay, sir.
and in fact, we are trying to introduce this NISM certifications also, sir. Maybe you can you can give your advice after the.
So which all certifications are you going to introduce?
Yes, sir.
No, my question is which all certifications are you? So basically, what you are saying is you will include it as a part of your curriculum, right?
Yes, sir. We are offering it as a value-added certificate, like 3 certifications we are trying to implement, sir. That is security operations and risk management.
Okay.
NISM Series 7.
Okay.
And Series 8 equity derivatives, sir.
Okay.
And Series 15 research analyst. These 3 we are making it compulsory for MBA finance graduates.
Okay. Okay. You can actually include Series 13. So what happens is Series 8 is for only equity derivatives, right?
Yes.
But in India, you trade not only equity derivatives, but there are also currency derivatives, and then there is also interest rate derivatives, right?
Yes,
so like interest rate futures and options, they are also there, and they are actively traded on the National Stock Exchange. So if you do Series 13 examination, it will include equity derivatives, it will include fixed income derivatives, and it will also include currency derivatives. It will include derivatives of all the 3 classes. So it is called Common Derivative Certification Exam or a Joint Derivative Certification Exam, right? So if you can, instead of just Series 8, where you will be entitled to do only equity derivatives, you might as well include Series 13. It will be for all kinds of derivatives that are traded in India. So I hope that helps.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Madam, can you take a screenshot of all the participants?
After the screenshot, everyone will quickly khatakat, they'll put off the cameras.
Yes, sir. Please, participants, please switch on your videos.
Yes, I see one hand being raised, but I don't know the name. I can only say the roll number A1, ending A1.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Firstly, it was a really insightful session. So my question is on the lines of what you explained till now. I just wanted to know more about fund manager or portfolio manager, because that kind of gives me the picture of that movie Train to Busan, in that a person says that you are a fund manager and you suck people's blood to lead your life or something like that. I mean, they give a negative image of a fund manager in that movie. So I just wanted to know more about that.
So, yeah, see, the thing is, you have to realize that these are movies, okay? And the bulk of what they show is very, very different from what people are in real life, okay? Fund managers are a very data savvy person. They have an amazing grasp of whatever action happens in the market. What they have a very good knowledge of the stocks that they have taken positions in. They have a very amazing grasp on valuations, and they always try to ascertain the right entry or exit point for their trades, right? This is what the fund managers do. They also manage the overall portfolio risk. They also decide on how much capital to allocate to trades, how much capital to keep for future opportunities. They are the ones who are in charge of running that particular fund and generating a market beating return, right? So that is what the fund managers are actually, right? In the movies, they show a lot of, movies, it is quite dramatized. So kindly don't take it seriously. And, the fund managers in real life, I have seen, they are actually very normal people. They are down to earth people. They also have families like, all of us. They have brothers, mothers, fathers, sisters. They have kids. They spend time with them when they are not working. They are very, very normal people. I mean, they don't have any horns over their head or, they don't have any special alien kind of powers. They are just normal people. Just that they are very data driven. And their mind is constantly active all the time, right? They are extremely sharp people. And see, generally, the world will always paint a negative picture of people who are successful because any person who is successful, and this we are digressing a bit from talking about careers in finance to in general, but the thing is, say, you will find a lot of people who hate say Elon Musk or Jeffrey Bezos or you'll find even in politics people who are highly successful, they are often very hated, right? That is because these people have got some skills or some X factor which the people who are hating them they have not got, right? So it is just a case of grapes going sour. uh, I think movies should be taken just as movies and nothing more, right? uh, so yeah, I mean, don't form your opinions completely based on just the movies. In fact, if you want to know more about fund managers, there's this website called valueresearchonline.com. Okay, so over there, you will get to know more about, say, it's basically a website which gives you details, scheme level details about different mutual funds. And then they also have a section where they give you knowledge about who is the fund manager who is managing that particular scheme. So say, for example, if it is a arbitrage scheme, then who is the fund manager? What is his background? What is his educational qualification? What is his work experience? Right? How many years he has spent in the industry managing the funds? Right? That kind of stuff. So if you look at that, you will be able to get an idea that these guys are not anything from space, or they are not aliens or anything. They are just normal people. Just that they are extremely sharp, and when you talk to them, you understand how sharp they are, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I hope it was. I know this was not the answer that you probably were thinking about hearing. Yeah, but this is what it actually is in real life.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Yes.
Election, madam, any other questions from students or observations, feedback, or no?
Yes, sir. I will follow, sir.
You ask, you can take screenshot of all the students.
Yes, sir. I'm taking, sir. I will ask the students if they have any queries or any suggestions, sir. Okay.
Yes, again, by the same lady. I don't know your name. What's your name?
Jaya Jain.
Okay, Jaya. Okay, fine. So tell me.
I just wanted to speak really frankly. Whatever you explained, it was really insightful, but most of the terms were out of my reach. So can you just help me? Where can I start to know all these terms and gain more knowledge on finance?
Oh, fantastic question. Actually, a very good question. And everyone should take a note of this. See, there are a lot of sources which you can refer to. Go for Economic Times, go for Mint, go for Money Control, right? These three itself are wealth of information. And see, all the three of them also have, I think, paid subscription also. So one is the general subscription, or one is the general that you can just open the website and you can read. I think there is some disturbance.
అదంతా తీసి బయట చేయలేమ్మా
17, can you please mute that?
I will let them complete. What are they speaking about? Can someone tell me what exactly is spoken about? It will be good learning for me also. Jaya, I only know your name, so I would.
Sir, they are talking something personal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not
Like what?
regarding
What's
the
for
topic.
dinner tonight or something like that?
Someone said something. So yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
ఓపెన్గా ఉంటే నాలుగు చుట్టూ క్లీన్ చేసుకోవాలని తెలుస్తుంది ఇక వేసి కళ్ళు
Now something funny is being said. I can make out from your expression.
మళ్ళీ ఏందో కనిపించంగా
Jayalakshmi madam, can you mute that 1717 number?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
చేయించాలి కూలింగ్ టైల్స్ కూడా ఇప్పుడు
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think the path is clear. So, Economic Times, Mint, and Money Control. These three give you a wealth of information, and also valueresearchonline.com. These four websites together will give you a lot of information about what is happening in different industries, in different companies, in different mutual funds. Who are the investors who are buying, who are selling, what is happening as far as the company specific news is concerned. These guys will give you a lot of information, and over there the terms will also be used. So once you start reading them, you will start understanding as to what is exactly happening, right? And then gradually all these terms that we discussed about, they will start making sense. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I would go a step further. Since you are students, see, all these websites also have paid subscriptions. So one is the general one where you just open the website and you will get whatever data you want or articles. Then there is, like, in Economic Times, there is something called as ET Prime, okay? Or in Money Control, there is something called as Money Control Pro, right? Now, I would suggest that you avail of the student discount. You'll get what, 50-60% discount, but you go for a paid one because it will give you access to the articles which are not otherwise available to everyone, right? To the free subscribers, these articles are not available. So I would suggest you take a paid subscription, and they are not very expensive. They'll be like, say, 1,200-1,300 rupees per year, right? Now, I mean, you go to a good restaurant, you'll easily spend 1,200-1,300 rupees, right? You order a few pizzas and, you'll spend this much money. Use at least, spend this money for your own betterment and get a paid subscription, and you will benefit immensely from this. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to get this one right. Was it Mint?
Mint. Newspaper, Mint.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes, I see a few more questions. Okay. Someone has written Investopedia, which okay. What more? Should we call it a day?
Any other questions, or even if not questions, you can express your opinions or feedback or some
Yes.
your observations.
Yes. I will specifically. So see, you guys are at a stage in your career where in the next few months you will start actively finding for jobs, or someone. Oh yes, I think I someone has raised their hand for a question. Roll number ending 0084. Yes, the one with the finger on the lips. Yeah, they have raised your hand. So do you have any questions?
Lakshman, any question? Kalyan, sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. This is Kalyan, sir. Am I audible?
Hi, Kalyan. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Hi, Kalyan.
Okay. That's for wonderful to talking to. My question is, can certified financial analyst helpful to equity research analyst?
You are talking about the CFA curriculum, right?
CFA, right? CFA, yes.
So it is Chartered Financial Analyst.
Yes.
Yeah. See, the thing is, yes, it will be useful to you, but if you are thinking that only a certification will get you a job, then you are highly mistaken. Okay. Now let me again see. I like talking about different stories. So we talked about history, right? Let us digress once again.
Okay.
And with your permission, Professor Dhananjay, right? So every one of here, irrespective of our religion or whatever, we must have heard about the Ramayana we must have heard about, right?
Yes.
So over there, what was the thing was Lord Dashrath. He had 4 sons,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
The names of those 4 sons, anyone can, you can tell me, Kalyan? Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrugna.
Shatrugna, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now see the fun, okay?
Okay.
Ram was the eldest of them.
Okay.
He was the most virtuous of them.
Okay.
He was the most experienced of them.
Okay.
But did he become the king of Ayodhya? No.
No.
He did not.
No. Yes.
Right. So obviously, if he did not become, because he was sent to Vanvas, right? He had to go to the forest for 14 years.
Okay. Yes.
Right. Now, logically, Lakshmana being the next in line, he should have become the king.
Yes.
Did he become the king?
No.
He did not become the king.
No.
Why did he not become the king? Because he chose to serve his brother.
Yes.
He could not let his brother and brother's wife go alone in the jungle. So he said that for doing your seva, I will come with you. Right?
Yes.
So he also did not become the king.
Yes.
Next in line, Kaikeyi, the one of the queens of Dashrath, Kaikeyi, she wanted her own son, that is Bharat, to become the king, right?
Yes.
So with Ram and Lakshman both out of the way,
Oh.
naturally the stage was set for Bharat. But did Bharat become the king?
No.
Bharat also did not become the king, right?
No. Yes.
Why? Because he felt that, out of his duty to his brother,
yes.
If his brother is living in the jungles, how can he enjoy the life of riches? Right?
Yes, right.
So even he, despite being deserving, he also did not become.
Okay.
For 14 years till Ram came back from his Vanvas and from Lanka, right?
Yes.
For 14 years, who enjoyed as the king? The youngest and the least experienced person, that is Shatrugna.
Shatrugna, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, why? Because the thing is, while all the 3 brothers did something, like Rama was like, I will follow whatever my father has said. I am Maryada Purushottam. I will do whatever if my dad has made a promise, I will live up to it. Yes. Lakshman, out of his love for his brother, Shatrugna, out of his love for his brother, they chose not to be the kings.
Yes.
Shatrugna did not do anything.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
He just was present and patient.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
In the same way, it is, so you can do CFA, you can do MBA, whatever you want to do, right?
Okay.
But unless you are present in the right place and patient enough,
okay,
you will not get the profile that you want. This is, again, this advice you will not get from anyone, but this is what I have personally seen in my own experience.
Okay.
Now, if you are talking about becoming a research analyst, you do CFA, you do like whatever, like you do all the finance, you have a complete alphabet soup in front of your name, right? CFA, FRM, MBA, CIA, this, that, whatever.
Lots of things, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Where are you sitting? Where are you staying right now?
Present Nellore Balaji.
Perfect. Now, where are all the institutional investors in India based out of?
I mean, internationally maybe.
No, India. I'm talking about India. Where are all the institutional investors based out of?
Mumbai.
Which city?
So I think in the banks.
Mumbai.
But where? Where exactly?
Bombay.
Which city?
I think
Bombay.
in
Mumbai.
their house. Okay, sorry.
Right, in Mumbai.
Yes.
In the same way, where is the entire sell side or the brokerages? Where, in which city are they based?
Mumbai.
Right. So then, what are you doing over there?
Okay.
Right.
The point.
If you keep doing CFA, MBA, this, that, but if you want a career in institutional equities, and if you are not in Mumbai,
okay,
then all this is waste.
Okay.
On the other hand, you just do your MBA.
Yes.
Right? But
yes.
Try and somehow get a placement in Mumbai and start working towards a CFA and then start searching jobs in Mumbai for on the equity side. There are high chances that you will get those jobs.
Okay. The place
right?
sets maybe.
So do whatever you want to do. You study whatever you want to study, but unless and until you are present and patient, right? So you are present in Mumbai and you are patient in building a career in equities. Till then, the success is not going to come to you. Okay. I know I have taken a very long route to answer your question, but I thought that
it's okay.
I thought explaining with the help of an example is the best thing that can be done, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir.
Okay, sir. Very thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Excellent, sir. It was any other comments or suggestions or questions or feedback?
Okay, I have something more to share. Okay.
Sure.
Every one of you, in a few months, you will be in the job market and you will be at a crossroads in your life where you will have to take certain decisions regarding your own career, right? Now, the most underrated aspect of having a good start in a career or even thriving once you have had a start in your career is networking. Okay, networking is like a force multiplier, and you will not realize the silent power of networking till you actually start engaging with people and building a presence, right? And that is where something like LinkedIn comes hugely into play. So Professor Dhananjay and we came in touch with each other through LinkedIn. We have been talking on and off, and I really admire the kind of person Professor Dhananjay is. He and I share a very warm rapport, and because of that, he asked me to, he invited me to, give a talk to you guys, right? So that you could also benefit in whatever limited ways. But see, this is what networking has done. Since Professor Dhananjay was networking, he got access to me, and through him, you all guys got an access to me, right? So it is very important for you also to leverage the power of LinkedIn and then reach out as many people as you can. I mean, like, just don't end up, sending random connection requests to, people. I mean, it may just become creepy, but if you are following the right set of people, you will get a lot of good career advice. You will get a lot of job openings. You will get a lot of mid career also. Many a times you are stuck, or many a times you want guidance regarding preparing CVs or giving interviews or approaching a job opportunity, right? LinkedIn is such a powerful platform that it helps you to do all this. And Professor Dhananjay probably knows how much active I am on LinkedIn. So I would, I would urge you, if you don't have a proper profile, put a proper profile on LinkedIn. Put a photograph. Put a describe your skill sets, your educational qualifications, what you are wanting to do in your career, so that if anyone has a look at your profile on LinkedIn, you will be able to you will be able to give a very good idea to him, and he'll also be able to get a good idea on whether you make a good profile, you make a good fit for the role or not, right? So I would urge you to connect with me on LinkedIn or follow me on LinkedIn. I keep posting there regularly. I keep posting there about investments, about career advice, about a lot of certifications, about and I also I have made it a point that when I was beginning my career, I did not have anyone who was guiding me on as far as my career goes. So I made it a point that I will guide people. Whoever connects with me and approaches, I'll be more than happy to give them any kind of career-related guidance in the best possible way, right? And obviously, this is completely free, so I'm not going to charge you for it. So yeah, I mean, it is in your best interest. Do connect with me, and you'll find that a lot of opportunities will start opening up for you.
Great, sir. Great. I
Okay.
really great, sir. Very nice. Actually, I really appreciate the way Vaishnav sir has told about the networking and LinkedIn, because I always ask our students to open their LinkedIn account. So please go, and within the next 1 hour, I want to see all your LinkedIn profiles becoming active. You just,
in fact, Professor Dhananjay, I would be more than happy to do a session with the current batch of students in how to make a good and a strong LinkedIn profile also.
Great,
right?
sir. Great, sir.
So because your profile is your branding. It is a brand that you create around your own self.
Exactly.
And whatever is a brand will sell well, right? So the idea is to sell your candidature, sell your expertise very well. And that is what makes LinkedIn a very specific or a very special purpose platform created for this, right? So yeah, I mean, please do register on LinkedIn and please follow me. I mean, I know everyone likes these Instagram reels and TikTok here. It is banned in India, but I know everyone likes Instagram and others, Moj or Share Chat or whatever. But I mean, it will help you only till a certain extent. Ultimately, if you have to move ahead in your career, all the treasure trove of information is contained on LinkedIn, and so I'll be more than happy to connect with all of you and guide you to the best of my abilities.
Very true, sir. Very highly encouraging and thought-provoking, sir, your session. And I'm really amazed to see my own students responding and interacting with you on various aspects, and also very helpful sessions. And actually, I regret I didn't have such career advice when I am studying my MBA.
Sir, you are way above all this.
Exactly. Because I'm able to connect with you and you are kind enough to address our students. And it so happens that, our students and ourselves have got a lot of fragrance. Even if we go into a garden, flower garden, we can't get all the flowers.
Right.
That our students have got the fragrance of this topic, and the way you have embraced them and introduced them to this wonderful world of exciting world of financial markets and equity research, and how the students have got a very good benefit of interacting with a real life, person who is experienced in the real time world of financial markets, sir. And I'm really amazed, and we look forward to some future as
absolutely. I'll be more than happy to connect.
Yes.
If you feel that I should be giving some kind of a master class or a lecture in person, I'll be more than happy to do that also. More than happy to help in whatever way I can.
Great, sir. Actually, we had an informal discussion of how you are interested in interacting with students, teaching, and your family background of teaching fraternity. And I'm very much happy, sir. Really, we are blessed being in
Thank you very much for your kind words, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words.
In a semi-urban town, because of this Zoom and internet only, we are able to interact with the stalwarts like you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much for your kind words. All the best, everyone. And yeah, I mean, connect with me on LinkedIn, and whatever career guidance you want, I'll be more than happy to help you guys with it. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Take care.
Thanks. And now you can actually, it's a weekend time. So yeah, you guys can now be back to your Instagram reels and you can also start partying.
Yeah, weekend well spent, sir. A Saturday evening is highly productive.
Right.